Yo,
What up? What up?
yo, 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 mic check. I think I need some sleep. These couple of days really got me beat. God damn it, I can barely move my feet. After I drink, I'm looking for something to eat. You about to go ahead and talk about it now. Throw your hands up and screaming like a crowd. Black Oak, y'all landed together. We about to take it over. Handle any weather. However, I'm kinda tired. Yeah, but I'm about to go ahead and do it for you before I expire. No, retire. I'm the one that will come in like a fire. Yeah, the one that you admire. I'm just freestyling while and kicking on top of the dome. Yes, the boy is back home. I'm just rolling on floors like it was chrome. Knock, knock to your dome. Who's that? We got Quez rocking his shirt. We got Jess to the left. We about to kick up dirt. And if you don't respect us, you can get kicked up to your head. You heard what I said. If you ain't elevating, then you hating. And if you ain't in the circle, then you just not in the conversation. No longer debating. We never worry about haters. We just wave our hand and say, see you later. What's good, y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome to Drop Your 3 Stand. I'm your boy Third Degree. You got Jess. You got Quez. How you doing, fam?
I'm good, brother.
Man.
Got a little oatmeal cream pie. I tried to sneak in there while you was Freestyle Friday. You know what I'm saying? Try to sneak a little oatmeal cream pie in there real quick.
Where AJ and Free at? Where AJ and Free?
Right, Free over there with you and AJ, he quit.
Man, I want to shout out and I want to apologize to y'all for the delay. Normally we start at 6 o'clock, but T-Mobile, man, I don't know what has happened, but T-Mobile, their customer service is just trash. You know what I'm saying? Just the utmost. For the last couple of days, your boy ain't had no phone. It just said, hey, not connected to a network, SIM card not working. I'm like, okay, you go to the store. Well, I can't help you. You have to call customer service. So I call customer service, then you get them people over across the reading off of the damn teleprompter. You don't know what the hell they talking about. You know what I'm saying? So your boy was without a phone.
Hey, man. Hey. It's planned obsolescence. You held on to it too long. It was time for you to get a new phone, sir.
I think maybe I was thinking about that today.
Yeah, you was trying to hold on.
Switch to Apple.
Right. I don't feel like throwing an expensive ass phone in the toilet.
Hey, at least it still works.
Hey, so for y'all that don't know, for y'all that don't know, Jess's phone dropped into the toilet. So right now she's rocking a shitty phone.
Damn.
The Apple Shitty 6.
That still works.
Is that doo-doo on your fingers?
Act like I did not clean
wee pee pee.
Hell no.
Act like I did not clean it.
She gonna be FaceTiming with shit.
But they said, hey, that was some good advertisement for Apple. You know what I'm saying? And is your life full of shit? Don't worry, you can still make calls with Apple.
Right. Exactly.
No.
Were you able to upload your Ratchet News on your end, brother?
I wasn't able to upload it, but I could share it. You want me to share it? Let's get into.
Let's go ahead and share it, man. Let's share it. Let's go to some Ratchet News.
Let's get it.
What's going on, everybody? This is not your boy Third Degree. This is Quez coming to you today with the Ratchet News. We are going to hop right into it because they done gave the prisoners the keys to the prison. And yes, we're running the yard. Look, Cardi B says, after all the years of you cheating on me, you told Harpo to beat me, and I went and slept with Takeoff. Oh, my goodness. Now, if that didn't sting, my brother, you can't control the rules of engagement after you start the game. Hey, you don't cheat. You don't have to worry about this kind of stuff. Cardi B said, if you go low, I'm going to hell. And that's exactly where she went with this type of information. And she was pregnant. Okay. But nonetheless, top 5 out of Canada, Drake's #1 shooter, according to him, allegedly. I don't know if he shot anybody, but he wanted to thank Champagne Poppy for getting him out of jail. and paying for his lawyer, who looks like a pilgrim from the first Thanksgiving. I don't know if that's what they do up there in Canada, but sir, I can't respect. You need to put some real clothes on. If you're gonna represent me, I need a suit. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, she says she doesn't know if Kamala is black. That's just what she heard. She heard that they found out her daddy was white, and the world went ablaze. They said, Janet Jackson, you are no longer a part of the community. I don't know why. We are not protecting black women at all costs. But she is entitled to her opinion. She didn't say whether it was true or not. She just said she heard. But moving on. After she said that, D.L. Hughley came out and said it's ironic to question whether someone is black while you're breathing through the nose of a white woman. Mr. D.L. Hughley, sir, in any other context, this was funny as hell. But at this time and place, sir, I'm going to need you to get it together. We don't do this in public. This is a black icon in the community. We can't allow you to do that, sir. So I'm going to need you to sit down and get yourself together. And then Gavin Newsom in California, after blocking the reparations bill indirectly, comes out and signs a bill to sign an apology for California's participation in slavery. Benign neglect is real. And, you guys get to decide what you're going to do. And this has been your Ratchet News.
How you feel about that, sir?
That was a little fly. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think I had to be on the other end of a rebuttal, but here we are. Here we go.
There you go.
First things first, Gavin Newsom, what the fuck is you doing? An apology for slavery? You gonna sign an apology? For real? You can't just go on air and just say, hey, California likes to apologize. You gonna sign something? No, bump that. Where the money? Where's the money? Reparations. That's how you say you're sorry. You know what I'm saying? You give back what you owe.
I knew y'all like that.
Fake ass Batman wannabe. Come on, bruh.
They really call him Bruce Wayne?
Oh man,
because he tried to talk like he tried to look and talk like, you got that voice like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, come on, bro.
Oh man.
What else, Cheryl? She said, shove that apology unless they come in with a million plaudits. We're gonna have to get you some good spell checks, Cheryl. Man, but yeah, shove the apology. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think for those who can prove that they're descendants of slaves, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and pay. You was on the right track. I don't know what happened, you know what I'm saying, but we need to get that right. Melvin, I see you. What's up, Noah Lonnie? I see you. But also too with Janet Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Like, DL didn't have to go hard on her like that. She just lost Tito, you know what I'm saying? RIP to Tito, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then she said what she heard. Now, word on the street, and especially within true nature of that, I think the cancer in that situation is Randy Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the cat, but from everything I've gathered from him throughout the years, he's a little kooky. You know what I'm saying? Like, if let's not forget, he tried to do the takeover and hold Katherine Jackson hostage because remember, he was trying to get the executors of Michael Jackson's estate outed, ousted. So, I guess the money can go to her so that she can pay them. You know what I'm saying? And I've always seen some of the stuff that he's talked about online as far as the Trump. He's like a diehard MAGA. And if they're close as I think they are, yes, he is definitely in her ear. So, but on the flip side, I love you, Jenny. I love you. Me and Jess went and saw you last year. I love you. But you can't be that out of touch with reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're saying blanket statements like that out in the public, especially when you're taking regurgitated hate from somebody who is a MAGA supporter. It's just going to have you looking like, has you looking kind of crazy. But to cancel her, nah, I don't think we canceling Janet. You know what I'm saying? She just made a bonehead move. She made a bonehead move. I mean, it just shows you how to touch reality, but that just goes to show you may need to
tell Melvin
I
dropped the second one in there. The first one I gave you was wrong. I apologize, Melvin. This is my first time running the prison, so You know what I mean? I was trying to put everything together.
It was my fault, man. T-Mobile had me hostage. I got in there like around 4:35. I said, look, I can't stay here all day. Oh, we'll get you to go. And sure enough, 5:30, I'm like, hey, I got a podcast to run. You know what I'm saying? Like 5:45. It says, sir, you can go. We'll take care of it on our end. We'll give you a call. Like, funky will. Motherfucker.
Yeah, I put the second one in the chat. But yeah, you drop it in the comments too on the Facebook so people can join there as well, I guess.
Right. What else do we have in there? Cardi B and Offset. What the funk? If this is not the love and hip hop ghetto days of our lives type of ish that we got going on, I mean, what the funk is really going on? Then they probably gonna be back together by like next week. You know what I'm saying? Like,
ain't none of my business. But hey, listen, women, don't do that, women. Please do not do that. When you break up with somebody, don't tell them you slept with their homeboy or their brothers or cousins. Boy, that was hurtful. I felt bad for him a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Because that one stings. You know what I'm saying? And bro is rest in peace. He out of here. So he can't even come out and say, hey, that ain't true. Like, or if it is true, he can't say nothing. So you just gotta live with that one.
Somebody had the nerve to try to correct me and was like, give me a second, Melvin. Gosh, dog. It's been a rough 2 days. Man, I'm coming, bro. But someone tried to say that it was fake. I'm like, well, if you look at the little thing that I posted on Facebook and you look at everything that has been real and confirmed, it's not too far off from what is going on. You know what I'm saying? So how you getting mad at me? It's them. It's them doing this.
That's it. I hope she didn't say that, though.
Me too.
That's spite, boy. The woman scorned, boy. Ain't that what they say? Ain't nothing worse than a woman scorned. And, sir, you did it to yourself. Yeah, you did it to yourself, man. That's all the other thing. I didn't want to go too deep into the top 5 thing because I'm hoping that they work that out. I don't want to see no violence about this Drake and Kendrick beef. But yeah, I was watching him on live yesterday, and that, oh my goodness.
Well, what happened? I was like Janet Jackson. I was out of touch, out of the world. I didn't have no
communication. So the reason I threw Buddy in there because he just got out yesterday, I think, and he got free on a murder charge. But as soon as he got free, he said, "Oh, I'm looking for Kendrick and Metro Boomin, and if y'all come to Canada, it's a no-fly zone and all that type of stuff." Hey, sir, don't.
Oh, so he's a corn muffin.
Yeah, I'm like, sir, don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he trying to look for clout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he talking about he ain't doing all that type of stuff. Like, sir, you just got out of jail. You might want to chill out.
And he wants to go right back in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hell yeah.
The one thing I would say, because I definitely don't want to promote, but the last thing, Quez know what I'm getting ready to say. The last thing you ever want to do is kind of like veil threat somebody from California. You're talking about, hey, pull up. That's just what the funk we gonna do. We gonna pull up.
Don't ever say that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't issue the challenge. California built a little different, man. Pull up
just
means
a little
I'm
different.
On the way. I am on the way. Just believe it.
Don't be shocked if we give you the address. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Yes.
Cali just a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Like, them East Coast cats, they grimy.
Certified West approved.
You're certified West. The East Coast folks, they grimy. They'll cut you. They got razors in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? They do some grimy ish. Me and West were talking about that earlier. They some grimy folk out east. So you don't play with them, nor do you play with us California folk. You issue a challenge, we gonna do exactly that. We gonna see how tough you are. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and look, me and Denisha was talking about it. It was like you issued a no-fly zone in Toronto, like. Don't nobody go there anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, don't nobody go to Toronto. Like, when have you ever just been sitting around like, hey, you know what? We should just go to Toronto this weekend. Not never. You know what I'm saying? Ain't shit up there, bro. You got to come to Cali. You got to pull up in LA. That's everybody want to go to LA And if you're in Toronto chasing moose and getting maple syrup or whatever the fuck it is y'all do,
they up there chasing a whole bunch of Melissa Fords. That's what they up there chasing.
Yeah, hey, listen, sir.
That's what they doing. You know what I'm saying? And maple tree and Canadian. No, I don't want to sound.
I'm just saying it's a no-fly zone because don't no flights go up there. You know what I mean? We weren't coming anyway. There wasn't nobody from California thinking about, hey, let's just go to Toronto.
Just gonna say, hey, DeRozan left.
That part.
Quite Leonard left too. Just
everybody got up out of there. Hey, pin the link for Melvin.
I did. I pinned the link in the. So the link is in the comment section. So for those who are watching, if you're on Facebook, make sure you hit the like and the share button. If you're watching, tap that screen with the love button. We appreciate you. If you're on YouTube, to the subscribers on YouTube, we thank and we love you. Make sure you hit the subscribe, the share, and the notification button. Make sure you're sharing this also. If you're on Facebook, we have the link pinned into the comments. So if you want to come on, just hit that link. If you're using your phone, just know that you have to use your headphones. Also, just know that your headphones and everything that you use works as a microphone. So we pick up on everything. Like Quez likes to say, this is a production. This is going all over the world. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Music. You know what I'm saying? We're everywhere. So you want to make sure you got the best representation of yourself. We don't need you out there, with some faulty ass Wi-Fi. We don't need you out there with, 10,000 baby kids in the back screaming. We don't need you out there kissing the dog or sharing ice cream cones with the dog, you know what I'm saying? Taking issues and whatnot.
Who's sharing ice cream cones with the dog?
Melvin says he thinks that you think you're black. How you think you black? We ain't block you.
You was blocked from God. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just playing. You shouldn't be blocked, bro.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, go check in the chat because I sent both links because you had one that was for yesterday. That's the one I was on. I was on the one that you put in for yesterday, and I didn't pay attention to the date. Then you had today's. So I put both of them in the chat though, Melvin. See if it worked.
This dude making me work.
I copied it and pasted it over in the chat.
I gotta go to Facebook. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. I'm trying to help Melvin.
Facebook be tripping, man. Facebook be hating.
You ain't never lied.
They don't want us to be great. You know what I mean? Maybe if we get a Drake feature, then maybe we can get some airtime. You know what I'm saying? or a DJ Academics interview or something. I don't know.
You talk about nut holders, man. DJ Academics stay on that dude's nuts.
Boy, for somebody you ain't never met in life, my goodness.
They ain't never met?
No.
Wow.
Yeah,
kind of sound
crazy.
like Funk Flex. Remember he was crying? He lied. Tupac lied. He lied. He lied. He fucking lied. You know what I'm saying? He ain't met Biggie. You know what I'm saying? He ain't kicking with Biggie like that. He wasn't even Biggie's home. He over here in tears on Biggie. He fucking lied. Biggie should still be alive. He lied. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't really mad him. What you crying over, Punk Flex?
Hey, that's why we got to get rid of some of these dudes who represent the culture for us. And it's sad that a lot of these individuals that go out and get to speak for us don't really represent the people who participate in the culture. You know what I mean? Like we gave Funk Flex a pass for a long time. And he was letting people come up there and pretend like it was freestyling, reading off their Blackberries and practicing in the back room and all that kind of stuff. Like, sir, stand up for the culture. Sway would never. You know what I'm saying? He would never let you do that. And you're going to come up here and get on this mic, man, you better do what you're supposed to do. So we let Funk Flex run around and pretend to be a gatekeeper to the culture. And, sir, you were not it. Academics, you're not it. Aiden Ross, you're not it. Like, it's time to change. It's a changing of the guard coming. Like, we can't let you guys keep perpetuating this type of nonsense. You know what I mean? Because truth be told, I just started watching some of these dudes, and as an older individual that I am, I could just imagine what the youngsters is looking and how they're interpreting this type of information. You know what I mean? Like, y'all bringing on people that are, supposed killers or whatever to start beefs and stuff like that. And I don't watch that. What's up, Melvin? Yeah, I don't watch their streams like that, but I catch the highlights. And for y'all to be my age and to be talking about stuff the way y'all talk about it, man, you guys should be ashamed of yourselves. And that's kind of why we in the predicament we in, because the people who are reporting on hip hop are people who shouldn't be reporting on hip hop.
Right.
Facts.
What's good, MC Toes?
What's
These guys are hitting the like button and share button, y'all.
It's good.
Absolutely.
I tried everything to get on YouTube, on Safari, tried the links. It wasn't letting me until that last link finally let me link up, and I was like, damn, they blocked it.
Well, the platform is also giving an exclusive studio for specific things, like for Drop Your 3 Cent. We have a studio for it, so I think it's still working out the kinks. Maybe so.
Yeah, we blocked you. Don't worry about it.
It wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't be the first time.
We still love you, though. You know what I'm saying? It's just, sometimes you got to stand on your square. You know what I'm saying?
All right, y'all. Well, before we start getting into things, you know what I'm saying, we're going to go ahead and hit you with a little advertisement, so to speak. So before we get into the first topic.
Can I get the next door, please? Cause these rappers really bore me. I'm on a different level in the floor ring. New terrain, body lanes get me snoring. In the back of the class, you do the math. Half for the swag really don't add up. Slang away, but they broke as fuck. Still up in the hood, but they ain't woke up. 5,001 times.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying, brother Benny? Shout out to Letitia. You know what I'm saying? She's on her David Ruffin right now. The David Ruffin tour should be here.
Brother Benny, man, we missed you, brother.
Definitely, man. I know you're busy out there grinding, but you got to come through and come mess with us a little bit.
Not like Diddy. No Diddy.
Yeah, please. You gotta say no Diddy after everything now. You know what I'm saying? When you put lotion on, you gotta say no Diddy. I don't want to be too oily. Yep. I won't be shining too hard. Hold on, no Diddy.
He had enough baby oil for an Olympic-sized swimming pool. He was gonna have baby oil Olympic.
So that's what I was gonna put in the ratchet news. When I couldn't get to it before T-Mobile started hating on me, I was gonna put like, so Costco was like, no, we don't sell bulk baby oil. Don't be putting us in the mix like that. We ain't got no association with Diddy. Whatever he doing, wherever he doing. You know what I'm saying? Like
that part.
He went Costco to smart and final. He went to smart and final.
Hell no.
Costco was not about to take that. Not at all.
Yeah, don't put me in there.
All right, y'all. So the first thing we're gonna get into, and what actually, I had a whole a third word, you know what I'm saying, and it was more so to the fact of, damn, I forgot. I'm telling you, it's been a lot going on. But one of the things I could say is that justice, you know what I'm saying, it's for some and some don't quite get it. And as you can see within media, there's been a lot of stuff really going on where there's been a lot of trials and a lot of things. We've had the young Dolph murder trial. We have Diddy, who's facing trial. We have Keefy D, who's facing trial for the murder of Tupac. We got, and then, the last but not least, we have Marcellus Williams. Like, I had to go back and educate myself because I saw a lot of people on here trying to sign petitions and say free him. And before I do anything as far as like following a trend or anything, I go do my research and see. So we're definitely gonna talk about that case, and it's kind of crazy. Where I think it's a double standard, which was gonna be my word. Saying when it comes to certain things within life, whether it's men and women, there's a double standard. Whether it's race, like between black, white, Asians, whatever, there's double standards, maybe even triple standards. And sometimes I don't think it's necessarily fair. What may work for some may not work for the others. But yet and still we get held to a higher degree as opposed to others. So that was kind of Thur's words, for today. So let's go ahead and kick into the execution of Marcellus Williams. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll start weighing in and we'll give our 3 cents. Oh man, it's not working.
I mean, the sound's on, it's just kind of low. I don't know. Maybe it's how you save the clip. I can hear it a little bit, but it's low.
I can't hear anything. I'm deaf.
Well, I got me some of this good old Obama internet.
Let me try something else. Y'all. Give me a second. Well, Quez, engage the crowd real quick. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm still learning.
Hey, I mean, you know where I'm going with this. I was trying to let you get it all out, man. But
give a little bit because hold on.
I don't want to get too deep. I'm not. I'm gonna let you get your issue. It's just a sad day in the community.
It really is, though. It really is. No lie.
It's supposed to be without a shadow of a doubt on guilt, and when those shadows of doubt show up, we should investigate those. You know what I mean?
All right, so I got some. Hold on, so
that's what I like to say about that.
So we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna do it like this. Sorry for the ratchetness, you know what I'm saying? This is what we do a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So
let's get it. We're gonna play us watching us.
You know what I'm saying? So well, what the funk?
You gonna play us watching us, huh? Okay, we got it together.
I didn't mean to do that. Hold on.
Hey, T-Mobile done messed up your whole life. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to say, it threw me out the loop. It threw me out the loop, y'all.
They hit you with cyber terrorism.
Man, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna blame it on Russia. Russia don't want to see us win. You know what I'm saying? It's Russian bots in here messing up our live stream. Them and them insurgents.
Don't talk like that to Jess. That's fucked up. She's right here.
Oh snap!
She is no Russian bot.
So what had happened was I was sharing my screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I hit the live stream of us. It was us watching us. So damn. All right, here we go.
Marcellus Williams by lethal injection. Now, Williams was put to death over the 1998 murder of newspaper reporter Felicia Gale, and the execution coming hours after the U.S. Supreme Court denied a stay of execution just a day after the state's governor and the Supreme Court both denied clemency to Williams as well. And all this after a prosecutor from the original trial said Williams was innocent, claiming no evidence actually tied him to the crime. Williams's execution was one of 5 scheduled in the course of a week across the country, the first one being Freddie Owens in South Carolina this past Friday. NBC's Yasmin Vasukian has been following this story. Yasmin, can you tell us the latest here?
That's right, Gotti. The third in Missouri this year, the 100th execution in the state since executions were reinstated back in 1989. 5, by the way, in this week alone across the country. We're talking about Missouri, in which Mr. Williams was executed just a couple of hours ago by lethal injection. Alabama as well, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Texas. the timing of it all, right? You ask, why are all 5 of these executions happening in this week alone, is really just happenstance in the decision-making process by some of these kind of state Supreme Courts. I will say, though, the argument that was being made by Mr. Williams' attorneys to the Supreme Court to, in fact, stay this execution was waiting to a decision till a decision was made by a similar case as they saw it that was going to be argued in front of the U.S. Supreme Court on October 9th. A statement that was made by the Innocence Project saying this, and I quote, "This closely resembles that of Richard Glossop, who remains on death row in Oklahoma because the state court similarly refused to accept the state's confession of error." If you remember, just yesterday, the state Supreme Court in Missouri essentially did not accept the prosecuting office's admission of possible error in Mr. Williams' case, hence why we are here today. Mr. Williams losing his life to execution by lethal injection just a couple of hours ago amidst a huge week of executions happening, Gotti, across this country.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Just bullshit.
Right.
Bullshit.
Right. So for those who are just, so make sure you guys got your backgrounds quiet, please. For those who are just tuning in, so essentially what happened, if you need to get a little bit of education on it, Marcellus Williams, in his case, the prosecuting attorney admitted error and said that, hey, he's innocent. They were screaming at the top of their lungs, and the state of Missouri, and I think the Missouri Supreme Court said, we still, essentially they executed an innocent man.
With no
so what are your
remorse.
guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was a lot of things that played into the. Can you hear me?
There you go. You had
Oh,
muted
yeah.
yourself.
I said a lot of things played into the role of them changing the conviction. One was the prosecutor before, it was a constitutional error. And so with the constitutional error, that meant that constitutional rights were violated. And that was because one of the prosecutor eliminated 5 jurors, and one solely on the basis of that juror being black. And so that you can't do that because you can't deny somebody justice for the basis of race alone. And they said, well, he's black and he wears glasses just like the victim, so he might have a similarity. Also, the DNA was misplaced, and so they lost the chain of custody for the DNA, and several other people's DNA were involved in it. So they couldn't say without a shadow of a doubt that it was solely him that stabbed this person 47 times. And there was several other people's DNA, but there was no other follicle of hair. You mean if you were going to stab somebody 47 times, you're not going to drop a sweat, you're not going to drop any hair, you're not going to drop any other evidence, and nothing tied him to the case. And so also there was a recant of a witness. And so there was several things that were so problematic with the case, and it was a pure miscarriage of justice. And it's highlights what we've been talking about here on this podcast alone, that in America, it doesn't matter. We have this ideal of, freedom for everyone, equality for everyone. Oh, we're not racist. We wouldn't do that. But the same MFers that are preaching they're pro-life are the one that killed an innocent man. Same people that say, a baby starts at conception, ended this man by lethal injection.
Preach that ball.
That makes no damn sense. How can you be pro-life but pro-death penalty, and then call yourself a pro-Christian? That shit that doesn't make any sense. It boggles the goddamn mind. And
well,
so that's
Melvin,
why
I agree with you today, sir.
That's why my name is the Justice, only if you can afford it. He wasn't afforded justice from the early onset, and now that cost him his life. And it showed in a highlight to the world that America is just one big hypocrite. They just say all this. We say all the things to give you a warm and fuzzy, but we don't believe in that shit. We don't believe in equality. We don't believe in fairness. We don't believe in anything that we preach and put on our dollar bills and all that other shit. It's all bullshit.
Well, speaking today, Melvin.
Hey, pass the offering plate, because you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna just say amen to that, because that's exactly how I was feeling about it. You know what I mean? It was too many variables, as Melvin said, man. Like, who was that? Timo J said in the comments that even the family of the victims was saying that, hey, this man is innocent. And
Right.
now when you dive down that type of path, like to stab somebody 47 times is one of two things. It's either a crime of passion or a crime of insanity. Right? That's the only way you could really sit there and stab somebody 47 times. In most cases, you don't see that very often, where somebody stabs people to death like that in that fashion. And for Melvin, once again, you guys didn't have any other kind of evidence. He didn't have any wound marks. There was, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that happen as that act is going down. And for those individuals to sit there and kill that man just because it was on the schedule was asinine to me. And it proves that what we've been saying, not only on the podcast, but in general, as Black Americans, is that, bro, it's not the same for us. It's not. Right. And anybody who tries to tell us it is and then wants to argue with us is frustrating, because we see the reality of this thing. And that slide they showed in the beginning of 4 other executions. You know what I mean? I seen one Caucasian man, and I feel sorry for him too. But I think capital punishment should be abolished in America, period. Nobody has the reasons or the rights to kill somebody from a government perspective. That's my problem with it. You know what I mean? Right. The government should not be executed.
So before we get into that, just as a woman, what is your perspective on what you just seen and heard?
It just really breaks my heart to see. I don't know too much about the case. I don't know if he had an alibi. I don't know if he had a family, kids. Of course, he has a mom. You know what I mean? I just can't even imagine, like, even seeing one of my family members in that position. You know what I mean? I just wish that, like, it could just be abolished. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's God's decision, not ours. It's God's decision. And they're pretty much taking it into their own hands, And it's, I don't know. I don't want to start crying.
It's okay. Raw emotion. I mean, it's okay, Jess. It's okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I was crying hard. I was crying hard when they killed the man, because I was like, this is so much bullshit. That same governor pardoned the 2 white rich couples that pointed guns at the Black Lives Matter protesters. He pardoned them knowing they committed a crime, knowing that they were guilty of it, but it was political. They were rich, they were white, and they were anti-woke, anti-Black Lives Matter. So it played into the card of what the governor's agenda was. But all of them were white Republicans. The people that the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court, when they rejected it, it was 6 white Republicans that rejected it. 3 dissenting were the Democrats that said, if there is a shadow of a doubt, we cannot put this man to death. All they're asking is for time. They didn't say they didn't say give the man a pardon, set him free. They said let there be time to retry and let justice be heard. But that was not done. And he does have a son, because his son was one of the people speaking outside. And it broke my heart listening to, because there was his speech, and he was like, well, if all praise be to Allah, it's Allah's willing.
in
if
every
I
in I think you said
situation,
in every situation,
in every
which
situation,
means
if I
so
should
to
live, if
translate
I should die,
so
it's
to
all for him.
translate for those who are a little bit ignorant, and for those who not now say ignorant is a disrespectful meaning, or for those who, and this is for the ignorant who are disrespectful in the sense, all praise due to Allah. All praise to Allah means all praise to God in every situation. So knowing that he was getting ready to face and walk in the shadow of death, this man prayed and gave all glory to God. So it also what Jess was leading into, which I wanted to kind of go into when I wanted to ask you, and I wanted to ask the audience out there, do you think that capital punishment should be abolished? Because I think we're seeing at one too many times that there's people like and I don't mean to play advocate in this situation, but I got to. You have Charles Manson, what I'm saying, who's walking, who's still breathing, what I'm saying, and he orchestrated the murder of a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? There's
He died
people
in
who
jail, though. He died in jail.
he died in jail, but he didn't not die of lethal injection.
No,
He was
no.
not put up for capital punishment. He had life in prison. So I think, and that's what I'm asking. Do you think that capital punishment, which is the death penalty, aka, should be abolished?
I think because it's a yes and a no for me, for myself. Uh, it's a yes for like the school shooters, the people that committed these heinous acts, and there's with no doubt about it. You don't need a jury. It's on tape. They said they did it. Then yes, you you can put them to death for justice. But if it's murky, we don't know, some eyewitness account, because eyewitness account isn't accurate. I believe it's like 50% accurate, so it's a fucking toss up. Because as time goes on, people's history change. I don't know. But on the other hand, for myself, then I say no, because half the people that have been exonerated, that were serving these lengthy jail terms, are black. Half of the people that the Innocent Project and other people have got off of decades long incarceration have been black. So imagine all the other people before DNA could exonerate them. People always want to say, oh, black on black crime, the jails are full of black people. Half of them don't even belong there. Statistically, half of them over policing. There's always a reason. And so that's why it's a yes and no for me. I'm like, well, for me, knowing me, if somebody did that to my family, the first thing I want to do is get revenge. I want to get back. That's it. I want them and their families to feel the same pain, even the innocent ones. That's just me and my hatred and my ego. So I can't be like, no, I don't want. I'm gonna abolish the death penalty. I'll be lying out my ass if I'm like, oh, okay, you killed my mom. Nah, you, mom, grandma, your fish, your dog, your neighbor's dog, all of them gotta go. I'll be lying if I didn't say I wouldn't want that. So I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so in some instances, yeah, I want the death penalty. I want that revenge. I want that hurt. I want the family to feel the same thing. But other cases, I'm like, when you dig on a bit deeper level, you're like, damn, half these innocent black people are being put to death by the state. Modern day lynching style. No goddamn reason.
Correct. Quest
The evidence that
or
doesn't even
Jess? Go
show that
ahead,
they're
Jess.
guilty. The evidence
Jess,
doesn't show that they're guilty, and they're still putting him to death.
go
Just
ahead,
like we
Jess.
were back in the 60s.
I don't know. I think a lot of people need to watch a Netflix document called what is it called? The 13th Amendment.
13.
13. And it's really good to watch. It really dives into pretty much what Melvin was talking about, modern day slavery. As far as the death penalty being abolished, I don't know. I feel like those people who are murderers, killing people, serial killers, whatever, maybe they need to be in a mental institute. You know what I mean? I feel like the government just doesn't want to pay for them to continue being in jail. That's why I think the death penalty is there. But that's just my opinion.
Quest. You're muted, man.
Sorry, I'm gonna play advocate a little bit, just because I don't agree that the government doesn't want to pay for them, because private prisons are big business. It would make more sense for the government to sentence everybody to life and keep them in there for 25. Everybody's sentence be 25 years and hard labor, and companies like AT&T and Walmart and all of these other industries who get products made through prison labor get to benefit because they get to pay low wages for high income. I'm gonna say it's an absolute no for me, because it does come down to an individual basis, like Melvin said. Me personally, right, I agree with Melvin. You touch mine, you got to go. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? But I'm not the government, and the government shouldn't be participating in the eradication of individuals, regardless of what happened. You know what I mean? If you'll be surprised how the prison system has a way of dealing with those types of individuals. Justice is going to be justice regardless.
Right.
And if we believe that God, Allah, Buddha, Krishna, whoever you believe in, is just, whether you go to prison for the rest of your life or somebody takes you out in prison, it's all by design, if that's what we're going with. And 9 times out of 10, individuals like that don't make it long when they have heinous crimes. As much as we talk about convicted felons and stuff, some of them are very just, right, when it comes to dealing with crimes and what you in prison for. There's a line in the sand when you go to prison. There's a definite line in the sand, and women, children, and elderly have always been off the list. And when you cross that line and you go to prison, usually you're dealt with pretty abruptly.
Or you gotta go. You better PC up.
and a lot of times that don't help you, because
right. So
there's other people in there that PC up.
All right, y'all. So I'm gonna read something from Timo J. Certain states have abolished capital punishment. I believe these states have once abolished it, but reinstated it. Each state makes that decision, which is very true.
Yeah, states' rights, just like
for me.
abortion.
Yeah, for me and my stance on it, I mean, it's a little. It hits close to home. I had a cousin, and I had a brother who was murdered. We were both murdered in the state of Missouri, and one of the killers is actually in jail. I'm not sure if they have a release date, while the killer of my brother gets to be released free. It doesn't make sense to me, you know what I'm saying? Because if we're talking about justice and doing what's right, again, if you're talking about lack of evidence or this and that, or witnesses refusing to snitch or so-and-so, whatever like that, my brother's killer gets to walk, you know what I'm saying, because he took a plea. So, but you got this man over here, Marcellus Williams, who you got the prosecutor saying, hey, there's error. You had the victim's family saying, no, don't do it. Please don't do it. These people are screaming at the top of their lungs to say, no, stop, don't do it. And the state decides, oh, okay, we're going to do it. It just goes to show that, hey, like, sometimes you have the complexion for the protection, or sometimes it's just a thing of where people, their innermost fears or ignorance, they're perplexed on it. And it's just ill, because I think about, and I don't mean to bring this up in the political climate that we're in, but we're talking about the Central Park Five. Donald Trump put out a full-page ad in the New York Times saying that, hey, these people need to be murdered. These men, these 5 boys, whatever, need to be murdered. And it got proven by DNA that they did not commit this crime. So if we're playing hypothetical, had they would have went on ahead and went through with it, saying they either would be locked up, or by Donald Trump's terms, they would be executed for something that they did not commit. So for me, I don't know. I'm on the fence with it. I think at some point, yes, I think they need to go ahead and just do away with the death penalty as a whole. Because if we're talking about a blanketed thing, it encompasses a whole bunch of people that, again, some may be innocent, some may not be. But we don't know who's innocent, and we don't know we know for sure who's guilty by those who have been proven guilty. But, again, we got people who we just really just don't know. And some, like Melvin was saying, and his name is so beautifully put, justice, if you can afford it. If you have the lawyers to sit up there and to fight for your justice, then yeah, they're going to fight for your freedom.
OJ.
And they're going to make sure that you walk free. But if you don't, I mean, you're doomed and you're damned to hell.
Like, not saying OJ's guilty, but if OJ didn't have the dream team, he would go to jail for life or the death penalty. They almost did it, and he's spending $4 million on legal.
So people may not like me for what I'm being ready to say, but I can only speak true. So the OJ was accused of doing the ultimate grimy by essentially decapitating and killing the essential American pie, the epitome of American beauty, blonde hair, blue eyed, and white. You know what I'm saying? Like, not only a white woman, but then a white male. And you see to this day, Ron Goldman's father, murder. You know what I'm saying? Every chance he gets, you know what I'm saying? But again, and it just goes to show he was proved beyond there was reasonable doubt. We don't know whether he did or didn't. We all have our personal opinion. That's in the court of public opinion whether he did or didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. But yeah,
but
they was getting ready to essentially hang that dude, you know what I'm saying, because of what he did.
Yeah,
and so that next crime that he committed when he was essentially trying to get back his stuff, you know what I'm saying, he went to jail for robbing and stealing back his own personal stuff. Yeah, they made him pay for the crimes he got away for.
Yeah,
the first time.
All I was saying, not to say he was innocent or guilty, but I'm saying if he couldn't afford those high-powered, the best of the best attorneys, if he was Joe Smo public defender, he would be going to jail. If it wasn't as high profile, if he didn't get everybody there and to support him, and just some of the heinousness and racism that was definitely involved in the case with Mark Furman, he would have went to jail. And
I totally agree with that.
Whether he did it or not, that's up to God to decide. But if he couldn't afford that justice, his ass would be next to
if he didn't have no money, he was out of here.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
was definitely out of here.
Exactly. And
it's old
sad.
school hung by a tree.
It's sad that is the case. And if we think it's bad, so imagine this: we have criminal cases are the most important cases in a prosecutor's life. So imagine this ties into what we talk about for fathers' rights and family court. When the judge only gives you 15 minutes, how are you going to tell your case in 15 minutes? If you take these cases that take months and sometimes years, like the what is it? Young Thug's case. He's been sitting in jail, and that we've been talking about him being locked behind bars for years. But in family court, they look at especially all the dudes on this panel and be like, he ain't worth a shit. He ain't a good dad. Automatically, that is what the narrative is. And what would be the incentive to put another black man in the home if by legislator they're always trying to take us out of the home?
True. Very, very true.
Well,
so it doesn't add up that, oh yeah, well, let me give him 50-50. Let me give him more rights. Let me give him full custody. But at the same time, it's like, no, you want these government assistant? He can't be there. So it has to make sense. And it just shows the legal system doesn't give a fuck. It's just a made up one of those things we have these ideals about that's just like, oh yeah, fairness, justice. Nah, there ain't none of that.
Very, very
Well,
true.
that's the thing. Ideals are great until you put them into practice.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Ideals are just that, ideals.
and like just
in
said,
the
13th
ideal
Amendment
world,
showed it.
where justice prevails, you know what I mean? In the ideal world, everybody would receive justice. So, an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere.
Yep.
You know, in my term of view, but you know, in the same breath, we don't have control over this system.
No.
And
How did Epstein get off on
I mean,
weekends?
I mean, because the complexion for the protection, like this is hypothetical. If Trump were to go to jail right now, right? He has money. So he can go to Club Fed. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna get the good pillow sheets, gonna get the good food. He ain't gonna be with general population, you know what I'm saying? He good. You know what I'm saying? But for those of us who can't afford it, yeah, we got to go in the general population. We got to worry. We got to sit up there and sleep with our eyes open, you know, one eye open. We got to worry about what's going to happen to us if we're going to even make it to see the next day.
But they even denied Diddy bail.
You said what, Jess?
I say you got to worry about when you eat too.
But
Right?
they even denied Diddy bail, and he's a billionaire.
yeah.
Right.
They said, like,
What about
wasn't a
this
flight
being on
risk.
this show for I know well over a year now, right?
Mhm.
Hey, we're coming up to it. We're coming up to it. Almost a year. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I've been saying black wealthy men never make it out clean. They make sure of that.
Oh yeah,
I have been saying that.
That's what I
We're
said
gonna
before.
talk about that. That's one of the next topic. We put two pick, as I like to famously say. Put a two pick in that. We're gonna come back to it because there's been people who have been coming for me. They've been coming for your boy because I posted them something. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, again, so it's crazy when you think about it in hindsight. And I want the viewers, I want those who are new, who are tuning in, or who may potentially tune in. I want you to really just think about this for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Here goes a man who was probably one day, you know, just living his life, doing his thing, you know, thinking that, hey, I'm gonna wake up to see tomorrow, whatever that circumstance may be. And then all of a sudden, the next day, his life gets turned upside down. You know what I'm saying? He gets put in handcuffs. He's wondering, yo, what did I do? What did I do? What happened? And yet and still he's being placed behind bars for something that he's thinking about, like, man, what did I do? What did I do? To be accused of something and to try to fight for your freedom. And then all of a sudden to be denied, and you have to sit years on a death row block, you know, because your life hangs in the balance because you got accused of something that, you know, that you potentially did not do.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you know, your life gets turned upside down. Your family's life gets turned upside down. When you have children, your mother, you know, your father, your sisters, your brothers, your aunts, your uncles, your nieces, your nephews. It gets turned upside down all because of an accusation that was not true. And you have the prosecutor who's over here saying, hey, we may err. You have the victim's family who's saying, hey, don't do it. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. But yet and still you have people because of their own prejudices, because of their own ignorances, because of their own fears. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. They take a life of an innocent man who won't get to see tomorrow, who won't get to see his kids grow, who won't get to see his grandkids, who have potential to be something great, but you stunted that. All because of something that you wanted to showcase your wherewithal because you can, because you're in a position of power to say, hey, I get to choose whether you live or die. You know, I think that's wrong. So that's where I stand on it.
My thing, what I was gonna say is, it's crazy. I'm like, fuck that prosecutor. How you knew what you were doing to begin with? You wanted to get a win, and you cheated the system, and then now you pedaling 20 years later. Now you have a conscience. Who else did you do that to? If there's constitutional error in one, I'm sure we should review all that motherfucker's cases and find out if he did that same slimy BS to other people. And then what I was going to say also, it goes to show with today's climate, political climate, where we have white nationalists, white Christian nationalists, because that is a big distinction, because they're trying to, you could put the Bible in church, but you can't put the Quran, you can't put anything else, you can't put the Torah, but you can put the Ten Commandments. That's it. So it's only Christianity, and their Jesus is white. Their Jesus is not from the Middle East, not from Africa. Their Jesus is white. And so that is a big distinction that of white Christian nationalists that
What
wanted,
happened this week, Melvin?
they
What
wanted to
happened
kill
this week,
a
man?
black Muslim man, and that's what they decided
Right.
to do.
All right, hold on. We got a comment from Cheryl. Cheryl says, "Third, welcome to life as a black person in America." To be honest with you, now I'm gonna be blunt. This ain't a welcome to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. You know what I'm saying? I've been educated. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a sad thing as a black male in America that, you know, I had the mom, and I had the in the I hate to use this term, but he's my pops. You know what I'm saying? Because he was there to raise me when he did. But my step pops, you know what I'm saying? My grandfather and my grandmother, God rest her soul, God rest his soul. They educated me to this. You know, so it's not nothing new to me. You know what I'm saying? I knew what this was going to entail because I've been schooled and been seasoned with this since the age of 5. Since I was able to read, I had to learn about injustices. I learned about the Emmett Tills. You know what I'm saying? I learned about the different cases where black men won't really actually get to see freedom because justice and equality doesn't really equate to people with skin color just like us. You know, my mom had to educate me and say, hey, I want you to grow to not be a statistic. I don't want you to sit up there and to be dead by 18 or in jail by 21. You know, I had a pops that told me, hey, this is what they're going to perceive you to be. Because you're going to grow to be a tall, big black man, you're going to be labeled as a threat. You're going to be labeled as evil. Yeah, I had to read the definition of what black meant in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? This is all the negative connotations that come, or the negative stigmas that come with being a black man in America. And so this is not new to me. You know what I'm saying? This is something new to what I'm trying to show other folks. This is what this whole platform is about. Because this is not anything that me or Quez or even Melvin or even Jess, if you're from the areas that where we're from, this is not nothing new. We see this every day. We are prone to live with the guilty, and we're sitting here and prone to live with the innocent. And we got people, which is the law enforcement or government officials, who conflate the two. You know what I'm saying? They put us all in that box. And we have to fight every single day to prove something that we should not have to prove. We don't get to live the epitome or the epitome of the American dream. We get to get glances of it. We get to get provisions of it, but yet and still there's certain things and aspects that we don't get to necessarily enjoy, because we have to sit up there. There's a different law for us when we're in a car where we sit there, we see the lights flashing behind us. We are trained from a young age on how to act. Get your shit out quickly. Make sure your hands are visible. Make sure you're not reaching for anything. Make sure you're not sitting up there saying anything to where you could provoke law enforcement. Because these motherfuckers are going to sit up there and talk shit to you to try to provoke, to get an emotion out of you. So the minute that you start acting, belligerent, they got a reason to beat your ass or to kill you because they feel like it's a threat to their life. You pose as a threat to them and they have to get home, which is why I've always stood on ending qualified immunity for people who are killing innocent people who pose no threat. They are protected by this in law. I've stood on this from the very conception of this platform. This isn't nothing new to me. I'm hopefully with this platform where we're educating those who are ignorant to what we see and what we know to be true.
And just to say something about how you said your mom taught you at 5, I taught my son at 4 years old. And it's sad that he has to call me because cops are circling around the block while he's waiting for his bus for school. That's sad. He was in junior high school and they're circling the block. He was the only one standing there too.
Welcome to our world.
We all have our stories about that.
We all got it.
I
saying
This
ain't
is
nothing
a
new to
long
me.
ass show. If we
we
go
all
into-
talk about all the times that I remember I kept a tracker. I got pulled over 35 times and never received a ticket.
Mhm.
So tell me how that works. 35 times. Oh, your tent. You gonna give me a ticket for it? Nah, we just wanted to check things out. Oh,
And again,
this.
so they don't give a fuck whether you're Panamanian, whether you come from
No.
Alabama, whether you come
No.
from Louisiana, whether you come from Africa, whether you come from
And
China, whether you
that's
come from
here.
Australia.
That's
Black
here
is
in
black.
Oceanside, San Diego, LA was a huge one, and it all depended
Oh, yeah, you
on
definitely getting pulled over.
what time.
Let me not tell you my LA story. I had 6 cops on me
What
for
time?
for expired registration.
The crazy thing is, I got stopped
Guns
one time.
drawn.
I got stopped one time on my way to a police ride along, and I'm like, my buddy is a sheriff for San Bernardino,
Pick a side, nigga.
and I'm
You know what I'm saying?
I'm getting pulled over on my way to a police ride. I was like, you can't make this shit up.
Yeah.
Right.
But
I don't have no stories.
I'm sure we all have stories. But I want to say
God
shout out
blessed
to
me this whole time. I ain't.
shout out to Quez. Shout out to Third. You guys got the merch on.
Hey, man.
Let's see it. Let's see it. There we go.
King3rd.com or go to dropyour3cent.com. You know what I'm saying? Click
Put a
the
little
merch
positive spin on
Yeah,
this.
because we got to move on, man.
Because
gotta move on, but
I got all
hate to say-
angry. I didn't even
Me
have
too,
any good
me
jokes.
too.
I didn't have any good jokes. I was just mad.
Because it's a real situation for us, and it's sad because
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate to me, saying my son passed at at birth,
Rest
but thank you, Melvin. I love you for that. But you, Quez, Jess, if I'm involved with Jess, I got to be involved with her son's life. These are stuff that we got to teach our kids. This is stuff that they got to face. And it's sad because, I've had white friends where I had these conversations and they were just ignorant to the fact, and not disrespectful ignorant. They're just ignorant because they didn't have these conversations. They didn't know.
Well,
and the profound thing for me was when I was with my cousin Shanti, and we were watching Fruitville Station.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some white girls in the back of us who were they were just bubbly, giggly, throwing popcorn and all the stuff. And the minute that Oscar Grant, the character in the movie was executed by that police officer or that BART police officer, their whole mood, their whole attitude shifted. They was next thing you know, I heard them behind us. They went from laughing and giggling, throwing popcorn to just tears. I can see the tears. I can hear the tears. And they were just like, they couldn't believe what they just seen. Matter of fact, before the movie ended, they got up and they walked out just bawling because they could not believe or understood what they just seen. And that is the reality of what America is. You have some who are living over here who don't have to worry about that. But then you have some of us, like, again, we've all had to have these talks. We all had to experience it. And it's a different reality for us. So there's two split realities in America. And this is what it is.
Yeah.
So,
it's a cultural thing because you can understand it, but until you're part of the culture and you have to deal with it and live with it, you can never truly understand it. You can read about it.
The one thing I can say, and I promise you, I can almost guarantee my left toe that those 2 white girls who were sitting in there in that movie, when we seen it, when it came out, I bet you at some point during their time of their life, I bet you there was probably in one of these, Black Lives Matter like rallies.
But I bet you they were happy and they went home and they were happy they weren't black and they were happy that they weren't dealing with the culture and that
was the moral of the story, sir.
They could just put the little black dot on their Instagram and then go home and live life with their privilege.
In their neighborhood where they
some of us don't have that.
Hey, from what I experienced and when I seen them, how they felt, maybe it could be that. But I can promise you, it's but here's the thing: we talk every day about that we can say it all day. Black Lives Matter. We could say it to we're blue in our face, and we get laughed and we get spit at. But it's the minute that people like them, when they start saying it, that's when people start actually paying attention to it.
Yeah,
which is weird.
I agree with, because I think it's when everybody sees the brutality and the cruelty, and they cannot normally, any good person cannot normally go about their day and ignore it. It's when it's in your face and you can no longer ignore it. And that was the point of all that. If you could put a little black square on your Instagram, then oh well. But if you ain't out there fighting for the cause and doing what's right, then you not helping it out at all.
Yeah, and that's the, to further expound upon that point. That may be true for a season, right? But reality and a normal daily routine sets in after that. So if you're not constantly engaged in these type of scenarios, it's easy to forget that people live these lives and have to deal with these atrocities on a daily, you know what I'm saying, endeavor, whether you want to or not. And it was crazy. I was reading a study that in 1963 they asked Caucasian America if they felt like everything was equal for Black people, right? And 2 out of 3 people said yes. 2 out of 3 Caucasian people said, yeah, everything's fine. 1964, they asked if they felt that the education system benefited Black children in the same capacity that it benefited white children. Once again, a majority of those people said yes. So when you're allowed to ignore the symptoms, you don't have to deal with the results of them, right? It's easy to say, oh yeah, everything's fine. Look, I see Black people all the time and they're happy. Of course. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see us happy because that's just what we do. We don't let the stress of being constantly berated with assaults and negative connotations and stereotypes deter our demeanor out in public. We might go home and get a Trey moment where we swing it at ghosts in the closet or something, or scream in the shower, and this is bullshit. But a majority of people will never see us act like that, and that's what I wanted to give my people today. Even though we're going through this turmoil and this huge tragedy and misjustice that we just witnessed, remember that you guys are resilient people, and we have been since we touched down on this soil. For the people who are already here and for the people who were brought over here, we have been resilient throughout all of it. We have been just in all of it. We have been the model of character and the model of morality on this land since we've been here. So yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's upsetting. But remember that in solace that we, at the end of the day, we got each other, man. And you know what I mean? We have to move together in unison and quit getting into arguments and fights over whatever you voting for, who's Black and who's not, who's from the suburbs, who's a square, who's a lame, who's a gangster. Like that, we need to come up with a Black code of conduct, man, that doesn't discriminate amongst ourselves, so that we can stand against the onslaught, because we have to realize that there is a system out here that perpetuates and prioritizes the worst of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we have to stand on one accord when it comes to our representation, regardless of what information they putting out, because if we do it long enough, it's going to be harder and harder to find those stories that they can push out into the media and into the lexicon of Black people are lazy, and Black on Black crime, and single parent households, and what about Chicago? As we start to hold ourselves accountable and push the narrative in our households and stand on business in our neighborhoods, that's how we correct that problem, because the less stories they get to use to perpetuate that cycle, the harder it is to change. You know what I mean? What we do as a unit. So
Yeah,
that's just how I feel.
I agree with Quez there, and I think it's going to take as long, because it's been ingrained for 400 years of propaganda, brutality, and everything else. It's going to take a long time to rewire our system. This is what Black people have had all their rights for what, 3 generations? So since 1968. So how long you're talking about? What, grandma before grandma didn't have their rights, weren't equal under the law? So it's going to take, it took 400 years. It's going to take more than 50 for us to stop all the stupid shit that we're doing. And one thing is to admit that there's a lot of stupid shit that we're doing, and a lot of petty stuff that don't even matter. Like, a lot of times we judge each other and put each other down, and we're the first to target each other. Gayle King, Oprah, just to say a few top level motherfuckers that will tear people down without any information. Leave Michael alone. I don't care. R. Kelly did do it, but that's why you have
Hughley's in that
that's why
category
you
now
have the
too.
police that's why you have the police to investigate. You guys aren't fucking reporters. What are you guys doing?
Word. Oh man. So Angel Hall, I see you. I'm not gonna, for the nature of what we're saying on
The
this,
show moving.
I know I can't put that comment up. But much love to you though. But it kind of deflects from what we're talking about, especially the nature. So I'm sorry. Cheryl says, as someone who went to a white school, the parents have different combo. They're taught the Bill of Rights. If you get caught up, call mommy and daddy. She says, mommy, daddy, call lawyer. Those kids go home. I mean, true. But you know,
in that order.
Keep
in that order.
Keep lawyer money on deck.
Right.
But going into we're gonna segue and go into the next topic. But before we do, we're actually, so speaking of, you know, stupid and dumb shit, we definitely have to talk about this young Dolph murder trial. You know what I'm saying? And I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I really don't get it. So, but before we do, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and check. Hold on, let me make sure I got this. Check this out.
Stuck in the daily grind? Let's change that starting now. Imagine waking up every morning excited about what lies ahead. No more dreading the 9-to-5 grind. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, it doesn't have to be. In just 9 years, over 115,000 entrepreneurs in more than 20 countries have taken the leap. They've joined a movement that's not just about making money, but about turning passion into purpose. What's stopping you from being next? Think about it. What are you passionate about? What gets you fired up? Picture turning that passion into a thriving business. Not only will you empower yourself, but you'll also uplift those you care about most. Imagine the impact you can make. Your journey could be the chapter that adds to the legacy of the future. It's not just about you. It's about creating a ripple effect that touches lives far and wide. What will your story be? Don't wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. The time to act is now. The future is in your hands. Ready to start your entrepreneurial journey? Contact us now. Let's build a future you're excited to wake up to. Empower your future. Become an entrepreneur today.
Yo. And we are back. It's all love, man. I love what you do. We're going to have some, I was going to have some dope little commercials and segues until, you know, my phone just took a crap. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to T-Mobile and their excellent customer service for not making sure I was back in business.
We ain't gonna never get no advertisement with that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? We need sponsors, sir. You know what I'm saying? You better
Thank
call
you, T-Mobile, for your wonderful, excellent customer service and making sure I was back up in business.
I'm gonna make a commercial. It's gonna be Co's hot sauce. So you better
come on with it. We gonna play it too.
Yeah, play it. It's gonna be me putting hot sauce on my own toe and sucking it.
Oh, damn, that sounds like some talent. But man, so and more news. I hate to say it. So Young Dolph. I'm not really too familiar with his music. You know what I'm saying? Not a whole lot. But from what I've heard, from what I've seen about him and his situation, it's just sad. The dude was a successful rapper back in his community, you know what I'm saying, giving back to his community, supporting a black-owned business, and was gunned down in a cookie shop. Over what? You know, we don't know. But you know, so his killers were brought to trial. There's been a lot that's been came out. And I just want to just go ahead and show you, just get you caught up on speed, and we will talk about this too.
Justin Johnson has been found guilty and sentenced to life in prison for the murder of young Dolph. Yeah, boys, it's over. Justice has been served. All of this nonsense over $800. Rest in peace, young Dolph. Let's get into the video, boys. Let's go. All right, here's closing arguments.
This week we heard testimony from co-defendant Cornelius Smith. He testified for us and he told us that he met Justin Johnson through Hernandez Zola and that he knew Justin was a rapper and he was also known by the name of Straight Rap. He was able to identify defendant in open court, and during his testimony, Smith told us that on November 17th, 2021, he and the defendant knew that Big Joke had a $100,000 hit on Dolph's head. He told us that this plan had been in process for weeks and that Justin knew about it. And there were conversations previously or prior to this murder. And Justin Johnson was an active participant in those agreements. And he was also able to explain the difference between CMG and PRE, their history of conflict, rivalry, diss tracks, and even prior acts of violence that were towards Dolph. In addition to testifying about the agreement that he and the defendant entered into, he also testified about the killing. He said that on the day of the murder, the defendant picked him up from his father's house. They both knew that the victim was doing a turkey drive with several of his PRE artists. They also knew that Big Jook had a hit out of all of the PRE artists. So it was their job that week to find them.
All of the artists?
As they were about to turn the corner, they saw a familiar car cross the intersection, which happened to be Dolph's car. Cornelius tells us that they followed the car, made a loop onto a back street, and then entered the Makia's parking lot. And this happened, I want to say, about 30 seconds after Dolph and his brother arrived at Makia's. Cornelius Smith was able to point out himself in that video and the defendant in that video. And he said that both of them were the shooting suspects in that video. The second suspect that got in the car was wearing a black hoodie, gray pants, black shoes with white soles, and a Bass Pro hat. The same clothing that defendant Justin Johnson was seen in as he was exiting his apartment at the Crosstown Concourse. So once the defendant and Cornelius Johnson arrive at Gospel Gardens, they receive wound care. They change their clothes, and then they go their separate ways. After they go their separate ways, Cornelius Smith tells us that he went to retrieve his phone, and he went to go wipe down the car. You didn't mistakenly follow someone's car into Makia's parking lot and then shoot them.
There's nothing more to say besides this guy just cooked. Like, it's over.
They knew about this hit beforehand, and they committed this hit. So if that wasn't enough for you, we heard from some other people. We heard from Kissing Gardner. He testified that he was present during the time that the defendant was able to get possession of the white Mercedes that the act was committed in. Kissing Gardner was at the Valero gas station in the early hours of November 17th, 2021. Sergeant Dabney also recovered the surveillance footage from Makia's and Gospel Gardens, showing the suspect in the same clothing that the defendant was in as he was leaving his apartment at 10.
Okay, y'all. So y'all get the gist of it. Y'all get the gist of it. What are your thoughts?
Idiots.
Dumb.
Like these are the people we're supposed to ostracize out the community.
Yeah.
Truth be told. You know what I mean? I'm not saying to kill them. I'm not saying to do, but we are supposed to ostracize these people. We are supposed to banish these people and send them to wherever it is they need to go to get away from us.
They need to go to hell.
You know what I mean? Sad to say, and shout out to Dolph and his family. And one thing I can appreciate is that even though he didn't know his time was coming, that man made sure that he bought his kids a property every one of their birthdays. So I'm pretty sure, for the future coming up, they'll be financially stable. So at least he had wherewithal enough to know to leave his children a legacy that couldn't be tampered with, and thought about them in future. So I gotta respect that as a father. Hands up, and
another good dad down.
Right. And second of all, I must say, for the community, there's always been talk about oh, once you make it, you guys leave the hood and you don't come back and give back this Nipsey Hussle, others. These are the reasons why people don't come back, because as a community, you're supposed to be protecting these individuals. These individuals are off limits, especially from dusty niggas like you. You know what I mean? Who do anything for you to only get paid $800 and then sit in jail and tell on everybody. And this man, this man was taking care of not only his family but several other families. Right? You took away a community builder. You know what I mean? We're not just talking about Young Dolph's family. We're talking about his security staff. We're talking about his event staff. We're talking about, you know, his personal assistant. With all of these individuals, the other artists on his label, all of these individuals who he was responsible for creating wealth with and for, are now left without because you had a dusty nigga moment, because you seen a bag, and if I can get a bag and all it costs me is the life of somebody I don't like anyways, I'm gonna go get the bag. That's why we don't come back to the community.
But that wasn't even a bag.
Sit here and build with you. Get y'all shit together. Ostracize these niggas. Get them out the way because they don't belong. And, you know, I'm not saying hurt or harm them, but move them around. They should have no play in anybody's neighborhood. This is not gangster. This is not tough. This is not, you know what I mean? Move these cats around, man. You don't never kill the breadwinner. I don't care what you're mad about. You don't kill the breadwinner of the community. You try to figure out how you can get on the payroll and do something productive with your life. You should have been asking that man, hey, what can I do to make some extra money so I don't have to be out here doing dusty nigga shit?
But that's the problem when you have people just worrying about their individual selves. They're wondering, how can I come up? How does this affect everyone else? And $800 is not a bag. Motherfucker, you can make $800 hustling anywhere. You truly can. $800, you ended your life for $800. You're telling me in your lifetime you weren't gonna make over $800, but now you're gonna be somebody else. You're gonna be ownership to somebody else for your entire healthy human life. But for me, I'm like, you should burn in hell. Execute those motherfuckers today.
Damn.
They did it.
This goes back to what Jess was talking about, you know, as far as the documentary in the movie 13. So for those that don't know, there's a loophole. You know, slavery was abolished with the 13th Amendment, but there's a loophole. If you commit a crime or if you get found guilty of a crime, you essentially go back into the system to become a slave.
Mm-hmm. That's why they make license plates and it's cheap labor. And that's why there's an incentive to have more incarceration. Also, like Quez was saying earlier, it's good business practice. In California here, the jails, the prisons, they get fined by the company that owns them. There was a ticker, I forgot the ticker symbol, so you could buy stocks, but they get fined $1,000 a night if the jail's not full capacity, or if it's not full capacity. I think it's what 3/4? Yeah, 96%, over 3/4 full.
It's not only California; it's several prisons across the country.
But California is the biggest state with the worst prisons, like the crazy prisons. Not the worst, because New York is up there, and the Louisiana is up there. They're not even giving inmates their medication. Just let him suffer.
Too. Yeah, there's a lot of
horrible
prisons.
Prisons is no joke. Jail is no joke. I don't know why these people want to commit these crimes, not thinking. And it's there has to be a better way. You have to know deep down that you can make more than $800.
Right. And in the next 25 years, you should be able to make $800. Goddamn
right.
Shit.
And so when you think about it logically, when you're thinking not of like the reaction, like what led them to think that nothing else, that their life was worth your life is literally worth $800, they're gonna put you to death
It
for
makes you think.
$800.
I mean, they
Makes
were
you think.
promised 100,000, but even that's still not enough.
Even that's not for to be on the
In
run.
5 years at minimum, you probably gonna
But
make that.
but how goofy do you got to be to think there's no cameras inside the place, no cameras outside the place, no CCTV on the highway that you got into that car, no cameras anywhere else? How, like, come on.
They got a picture of you in your outfit coming out your apartment.
That's
You
what I'm
mean to
saying.
tell me? You
I'm
mean to
like,
tell me?
really?
Come on now.
You're
It's
really gonna think I'm gonna get away?
2024. That's
It's
why I don't believe our
Right.
brother in North Carolina was lynched and don't nobody know what happened. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Right.
They got
That's what-
photos of you coming out your apartment with the same outfit that you went in there with
Exactly.
2 days
So
later. Come on now.
what? And I think a lot of it, and I could be wrong here, is a lot of it is ego and pride in our community that we're willing
Well,
to
we
kill
we, we
somebody
can definitely get into that
because he's an op for $800. He's an op for $800. Come on now, like I wasted
so Jess,
that.
what are your thoughts?
I wasted that in a casino.
I feel like it's like a ghetto mentality. More like one of you said it. He was thinking for himself and not for the community. You know?
Individuality.
Yeah. And it's really sad because it kind of, when you think about it, it kind of goes back to slavery. You know what I mean? Like some of our ancestors had to think for themselves. You know what I mean? And those are the ones that were like, what was it? Informants for the FBI or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You was on the porch, Jess. You were definitely on the porch. I see where you're going with this. You was definitely on the porch.
Wow.
Me and Third was planning a revolt, but you told on us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we on the
Thinking
field.
about self.
Hey, hey, Quez, we on the field. We on the field looking at the porch like, huh?
Yeah, we were trying to bring you with us. You know what I'm saying? You been told. God damn it.
I mean, for me, it's crazy because again, like I said, both sides of the fence as far as like, you know what I'm saying? You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? With some of us, we understand. How do I say this without it being like a slippery slope? I mean,
say it with your chest. You know what I'm saying? That's how you say it.
I mean, for the most part, it's ego driven. It's a thing of where now you're trying to. You have the man who tells you like this is what you are. You're gangster. You're violent. You're vitriol. You're all this other things, and then you have some of the folks out there who are black who want to live up to that expectation. Like, no, I'm the most ghettoish. We shut, man. And you know, you take out somebody who, again, like Quez was saying, is doing positive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what type of music that he was making. I don't care what he was talking about in his song. It's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like the same way that you have Arnold Schwarzenegger shooting up, you know, buildings and people and Terminators and this and that, whatever. It's the same thing. It's entertainment. It's for your enjoyment as far as we to entertain. You know what I'm saying? So for those who try to, again, we talk about that double jeopardy. For folks who condemn entertainers for rappers, we're talking about certain things. You're a ghetto spokesman. You're a ghetto reporter. Pretty much art emulates life. You're just pretty much projecting out what you see, what you know, or sometimes what you're entertained by. What you think folks want to hear? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? We are humans. People got kids. People got wives. People got mothers and grandma. So you take out this person, and like Melvin said, an op for over $800. You know what I'm saying? We make $800. You know what I'm saying, in our sleep. You take them over for what? For you to be the realest nigga? Now you the realest nigga in jail. You know, now you the realest nigga. You done affected everybody around you. Now your mama got to sit there and put money on your books. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got children, now the children are robbed of an opportunity So well, at this point, well, we all do dumb shit, but this was just the ultimate dumb. But you know what I'm saying? But your kids don't even get a chance to really sit up there and grow with you. All because you want to be a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
I know, like back, this was when we graduated 2 years after we graduated. One of the guys I know, he was 16, and he killed somebody, shot him in the head over there by the Regal
Whoa.
movie theater in Oceanside, because he wanted to show his loyalty to the Crips, and he blew him up. And this guy is
I don't know. Hey,
this guy.
Don't
I'm
know
not
it.
saying names. I'm not saying names. I'm not saying anything.
I don't know
That,
what you talking
but I'm
about.
like,
We
you
ain't
wanted to
putting
show
it on the
loyalty,
show.
and they tried him as an adult. And
Hey man, hey, you ever hear that song by Michael Jackson and
Hey man,
Rockwell?
let him stop it. There.
I'm not
He
saying
not
names.
giving up names.
You can look it up.
watching me.
It's already, there's paperwork on it. You can
And I
look at
get
it. This
no
was
privacy.
20 years ago. But yeah, and for loyalty, and I was like, you not even in yet. So why you killed somebody? You were a kid. What are you doing? And now you think you're gonna go in and you're gonna have some stripes. You're gonna no. You are 4'11". He was 4'11". Damn near a midget. You think who are you gonna scare in the prison?
That's
That's
enough
not politically
descriptive
correct,
words,
sir.
sir. Hey, but listen, real
Hey,
quick.
I feel
wanna-
insulted.
Oh,
listen,
Justice for
I'm not
410.
for nothing. I'm at least 5 feet.
Justice 410. Tisha,
4'11",
David Ruffin on the
5
show.
feet with shoes.
Tisha is
Compton.
4'5" on this show, you know. So
Hey,
Don't
but
hate on
listen,
that
man. Third, you brought up a real good point, and I'm glad you said it in the capacity that you did, because you are an entertainer as well, and nobody would ever say something like, "Oh man, Tom Cruise got shot and killed." It's probably because he was in Top Gun. He was dropping missiles on them people and shooting them out the sky. You know what I'm saying? He lived by the sword, he died by the sword. You would never say that about, Keanu Reeves, or, you know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? Hey, he is John Wick. What else you supposed to do? You got to shoot him. Like, you would never say that about these individuals. And for the individuals who participate in the music industry, which we have all figured out for the most part, that 80 to 90% of these individuals are paid actors, right? And let's be honest.
except for Young Thug.
I mean,
leave
even
third
him,
alone. Leave third alone.
even him, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be out killing people on the regular and on tour
and Melly
showing up, you know what I'm saying, to these award shows, and it sounds good in theory, but a lot of these individuals is not in the streets doing a lot of the stuff that they say they doing, and it's a persona, and that's okay.
I'm gonna do you one even better, Quez. So I've seen both worlds. You know what I'm saying? I've seen the studio gangsters, the wannabe gangsters, then I've seen the real gangsters. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to pick up a mic.
What about Diddy gangsters? They pick up something else other than a mic, but
everybody want to pick up a mic. Everybody want the fame. Everybody want to be in front of the camera. Everybody want to, oh, look at me, and then in all cases, in each and one of those things, if you don't have talent, then it's a world of trouble. Because again, I've known some gangsters who got up on microphones. Yeah, I committed this crime on June 16th around 22:30 p.m. and I had to go get that man. And I was
murder on my mind.
So you over here telling on yourself. If you really out there doing it, then you telling on yourself. You know what I'm saying?
On my mind.
And then for the dudes who don't live it, you know what I'm saying, who over here, yeah, I done capped somebody, I done sold 3 grams, and I done did this, and I'm the man, you ain't living that life.
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
So perfect example. So then when somebody pull up on you, you know what I'm saying, who's really about that life, and they pull your card, what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not ready
Master
for what's about
splitter.
to happen. You're
Master
about to get
splitter.
your ass beat, or you're about to get your ass murked. You know what I'm saying? Or again, if you're really just that dumb, you're sitting up there, you're telling on yourself. You're snitching and telling on yourself.
Yeah, he turned into Master Splinter, the biggest rat of them all. Just
Man. So I mean, it's just so for the youngsters coming up, for everybody who want to be rappers, everybody need mama, you know what I'm saying, thinking that everything's all peachy and just some food for thought. You know what I'm saying? Just some food for thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the best advice that I can give is to rap about, I don't even want to say rap about what you know. Be creative, be talented, have some talent, know your talent, you know what I'm saying? And just be careful about what you put in your rhymes, because as you can see within Young Thug, what you say can be used against you in the court of law.
Is that why Diddy wanted cheesecake? Because that was food for thought? Or is it food for thought? Or is it food for
Hey, you know the crazy thing about that, I seen the interview. They said Beyonce was upstairs, and that's who the cheesecake was for.
Allegedly.
That was from Freddie P.
That's just don't make no sense.
Somebody who went to go get the cheesecake
I watched
said it.
the show.
But the funny thing, like I posted, I'm like, so you mean you held that in for 20 plus years to now just say this because now you can be relevant?
How convenient.
You mean now?
Because they just now asking them. Ain't nobody cared about their cheesecake.
You were making the band 20 years ago, and you didn't have a relevancy for 20 years, but now they want to do an interview with you. And
hey, you know, first off,
You
shout out
still
to
look
Art of Dialogue. Art of Dialogue, he's cool. You know what I'm saying? I wrapped up with him before. Art of Dialogue, he got some good content. I was always a fan of Art of Dialogue because of the Tupac stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing I can say about the Art of Dialogue.
He's a real journalist. He's a real journalist.
He's a platform, the Art of Dialogue. You know, he started kind of like essentially like us, just, you know, doing little things here and there on Facebook, and then next, you know, he started building up his platform, and then boom, you know what I'm saying? But he's always had good Tupac content, and he's always interviewed people who were close and related to Tupac. Then he started branching out and doing other things. So shout out to him first and foremost. But yeah, to Melvin's credit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, you go get the dude. You know, when Diddy get in jail, all of a sudden, okay, let me grab people who know Diddy, and you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I don't know.
It's just like the people that when R. Kelly allegedly did all the stuff he did. Now you're coming out. Now you're saying, where were you to defend those children then?
Man, so
yeah,
whoa.
Well, there's look at the parents.
Whoa.
You mean I'm talking about the parents.
Hold on.
Some of the parents you're gonna let your minor kids spend the night.
Hold up, dog.
I'm about to get into some real quick, dog. Hold up.
Oh shit.
All right, so let's get into a little segue real quick. Then
That's what I sound like when I wake up.
Yeah.
You're wasting time, wasting lines.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, get your merch from king3rd.com or drop your 3cent.com. But yeah, let's get into Diddy.
He's going the long ways.
Let's not get into Diddy.
Let's not get
that.
Pause. But
third one get that cheesecake.
The last little bit of the show, because I have some rebuttals.
Are you trying to get that cheesecake third or the cream pie? Are you trying to get the cream pie or the cheesecake? Which one are you trying to get? Cream pie or cheesecake?
Mute his mic. You
trying to get the cream pie.
I don't like these canigas. I don't like this caniga right here. He's a Spanish. He's a what is elote. He's a elote. He's the elote corn caniga. They put the mayonnaise on the corn and they sprinkle it with all types of spice.
I don't like the mayonnaise.
Come on, man.
No, I'm not Mace. I don't deal with the mayonnaise.
He's that type of caniga because he won't let me speak. He won't let me speak. He's a Spanish. He's a Spanish elote caniga. He can go back to wherever he came from.
Mr. Third cream pie. Cream pie the third. That's what I'm going to call you.
All right, yo. So some of y'all on Facebook had the nerve to try to come for me because I simply reposted somebody that said, "Hey, what Diddy versus Hugh Hefner."
Oh,
Again,
they're
wait.
the same.
But again, so we had. It's funny the irony. I wonder if I should show the actual like comments that I've been getting from these niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Put them on blast. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Make
then.
them famous. Make them famous.
Down.
I was joking, y'all. Don't come.
I'm not.
His inbox is open. You know what I'm saying? But come on.
So as you can see, I have this post right here. I just asked the thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like you have Diddy right here, and you have Mr. Hugh Hefner, Mr. Playboy Mansion Extraordinaire. So then you have some of these comments, you know, saying like, you know, Jason shout out. He said, timing, the world is different now. Hef died before it caught up with him, which is huge.
Facts.
We had somebody who said, so it makes it right. And he didn't do everything Diddy did. Then they're not the same place. Diddy was sleeping with many different ages and women of age, but abusing them.
He did worse.
Somebody said he has the age of skin, or he has the right skin tone. Somebody said no men. No, not the same. Diddy was modern day bug breaking, old nasty self. This person said, I don't think it has anything to do with race. It depends on character. If you're gonna be out here with doing illegal ish, you can't be out here making enemies. And went downhill when he tried to sue a company. You gotta be careful who you do business with. And even if the company did up him over, he went after some powerful people. Which some of that could be true.
There's some truth in that. That was half.
There's definitely some truth.
Half coherent, half retarded.
It was definitely some truth in that. I wanted to go to where. Hold on, let me see. As you can see, there's a lot of comments. Someone's shout out Tina, I love you. She said he was not. Oh, Antonio broke it down. I'm gonna have to read your paragraph in your Roots book later, man. But he wrote the Roots. Okay, so this is the one right here. Michelle Warren Kuruwawawa said, I don't remember any man saying Hefner assaulted him. Nobody alleged that Hefner was drugging or beating women. There were drugs at the Playboy Mansion, but nobody had IV poles set up so that women could be hydrated after being forced to have sex for days. Women wanted to stay, hold on a second. Women wanted to stay at Hefner's mansion. Diddy had inside locks. They're not the same. I'm not a fan of either or on all levels. What? But I posed the question. The question. Hold on a sec, because that person has said something really interesting, and I just wanted to just know. So, out of all the people that have been to Diddy's parties or whatever like that, that person made it seem as if, you know, saying they were forced. And my thing is, so of all the people, do you actually think that there was non-willing participants? You know what I'm saying? Outside the casting?
To be honest, I think there may have been.
Well,
a large majority of these individuals were willing participants. And at my good old age of 40 years old, if Diddy was to invite me to his house, I'm definitely going to say no. And you know what I mean? And we've been hearing these stories about Diddy since I was in middle school or high school, at least.
I'm about to say something really controversial. And, you know, I really don't care at this point because it's real. It's real. So at some point, you know what I'm saying, you have a choice. And I'm not negating what Diddy did to Cassie or any victim that may be out there. You know what I'm saying? If it is non-consensual, that is definitely a crime. But at some point, you walked in willingly into this party. You had a choice to say, yes, either I'm going to do it or I'm not going to do it. And there were some consequences that came along with that. Now, again, I know Jess is over here shaking her head, whatever. But again, the truth of the matter is, I know as you being an adult, Quez, I being an adult, Melvin being an adult, I don't care if I'm over here eating, you know, top ramen, you know what I'm saying, for 20 plus years. There's certain things I'm not going to do to sell my soul to get a buck. You know what I'm saying? And there's a choice.
But you just say you would go get a cheesecake, I
like cheesecake.
It doesn't matter.
He would get a cheesecake and a cream pie.
Wait, Melvin. Wait, Melvin.
Banana
Wait,
cream pie.
Melvin.
Yeah, semen creep
Wait,
pie.
Melvin. Wait,
What the-
Melvin. There's a difference between using my feet and spreading my cheeks.
It'll be one and the same.
Which
It'll
you
be
put it
what
afterwards.
grab the
No.
ankles and cough. Grab the
Damn.
ankles and cough.
He
No.
would have said, "Let me see you in my office, third."
Yes, he'd
And
be
you
like,
know-
The cheesecake.
And it's like, and then you know
and
what
he
would
won't
happen?
stop. He'd be like,
Somebody-
I can't stop, won't stop.
So you want to know what would happen? So for those that know me, know that they ain't never gonna happen. Either I'm gonna crack his jaw or somebody gonna die.
And
You know what
then,
I'm saying? If you know
and then
me,
like Kid Cudi, your car will get blown up.
then it's just gonna have to get blown
Yeah,
up.
I mean,
But
in all seriousness, man, there is a realm
Look,
of
wait, before you get into seriousness. Yes, I go get the I like cheesecake. If you know me, cheesecake is my weakness. I'm getting it for me.
Jesus.
The funky talking about here go your slice, Puff. Here go mine. I'm gonna go eat it over here in my room. Room. But I'm not going to a Diddy party. You have a choice to go into a Diddy party. There's a choice. You can either partake in this sexual activity or not partake in this.
You have
now,
to
if he's
take
taking it, then
the
that's a
cake,
problem.
though.
But go ahead, Quez.
Go ahead, Quez. I was gonna say Hugh Hefner takes the cake.
And that's what I'm saying. It's crazy how we justify one level of predatoriness and ostracize another. You know what I mean? Hugh Hefner had underage girls at the Playboy Mansion. Hugh Hefner.
Back then, they just didn't speak.
Wait.
of that stuff.
Go ahead.
Whether you spoke about them or not, if we calling a spade, it's still the same thing. So we can't say, oh, Hugh Hefner wasn't doing this and Hugh Hefner wasn't doing that. I don't believe in coincidences, and it's no coincidence that Diddy moved on the same street as the Playboy Mansion, and they found some tunnels that went from the Playboy Mansion to Diddy house in LA. It's you know what I mean. This is a learned behavior. Do I think Diddy always behaved in this manner? Probably not. And do I think Diddy is the ringleader of this? Probably not. There's somebody up and above him that probably victimized him early, and then he took on that same behavior and started to victimize people as well. But to sit here and try to pretend like Hugh Hefner was some ultimate player and he just was doing some real pimp shit is asinine. He wasn't that. He was a predator as well.
Yeah,
the irony because he publicized a 10-year-old Brooke Shields nude in the Playboy magazine. There is circumstantial proof that he committed a crime of child pornography.
But also
so, wait,
I was supposed to wait. I was supposed to go after Quez.
What up? But the fact of the matter
corrupts.
is, you got these people
Absolute
on here.
Power corrupts absolutely.
That's third.
You got these people on here who are absolutely defending Hugh Hefner. They're just going ham for him, but they don't Diddy into the wayside. But go ahead.
No, but they're if you ask me, Hugh Hefner is a way bigger predator than Diddy. Hugh Hefner was wait for girls to be like, "Oh, today's your 18th." Like that has some moral equivalency. You're 18 today. Now now you can pose naked. So you mean yesterday it wasn't okay? No, that's still a child. Just by one day, like you.
And he was probably grooming them the whole time.
You were waiting and grooming, and you created a cute little bunny to attract the young stars and made it fashionable to expose yourself to men that knew what they were doing. At the grotto, his parties were lavish. Not only that, when he had the twins over there that were 17 or 18, they both turned 18, went over there. They were poor from Dunk. I forgot the town, but they were from a poor state, from a poor town. They had no money, so they were sleeping with this. They would one after the other would sleep with this old 80-year-old man, and then he got them pregnant, and they had a secret abortion because they didn't want to have that child with the man that they're sleeping for survival. And it's the same as trafficking, and it's just as, and he did that for decades.
Melvin, you hit it right on the trafficking, because
it's the
that is what
same
Diddy
as
is accused of doing, is trafficking. That
yeah.
is what R. Kelly is sitting in jail for, is
No, but he
trafficking.
peed on
Because
people and he did other things.
because at the end of the day, so Cheryl says, food for thought, Hugh Hefner built his empire on porn. He was not a rapper trying to front with his freakiness. Hey, Cheryl, I got a food for thought for you. There's nothing wrong with being freaky. You know, there's a problem when you're doing it non-consensually. When you're taking that, take that, that's the problem. But because you have a sexual addiction, or you have a sexual preference, or because you like to have sex, there's nothing wrong, especially with two consenting adults.
Yeah, with the toes,
So
they're not
just
off limit.
saying. No, Tish, I'm not fighting for Diddy. If Diddy did whatever it is that he
Diddy's
did, then
guilty.
if he did whatever he did, then he needs to go to jail.
Like
you know,
R.
I've always
Kelly.
stood on that.
He
I've
needs to
always
go to
stood.
jail like R.
But the
Kelly.
thing again, like Third's word for the day, is the double standard. I've seen all these people over here pretty much, fighting. They're ready to go in front for Hugh Hefner. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Same as Diddy. But then they throw Diddy to the wayside. Somebody who looks exactly like you. So again, but at the same time, if Hugh Hefner is over here trafficking and Diddy's over here trafficking, then what's the difference?
There's like I said, there's no difference. But the only difference, to their credit, is today's, after the Me Too movement, and a lot of the culture changed. Nobody's getting away with that before. Before, Diddy could have lasted forever back in the old ways. Now
that was a rhetorical question. Hey, Melvin, so we're going to have to put a 2 pick in this because we're at 159. We got 17, 18, 19. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Drop Your 3 Cent. I'm only doing this because I'm lazy and I don't want to have to sit here and cut up every single thing. I'm going to sit here and let the auto AI cut up all my little pieces and we can generate it out and give y'all content. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry for my tardiness, but thanks to T-Mobile.
Can they make my hairline come down some?
Thanks to T-Mobile and their excellent customer service. We will be back. Check out the content. We will be here. Comment if you want. Thank you for tuning in. This is Third, Jess, Quez, Melvin. Drop Your 3 Cent. Peace.